15-Minute Mondays, your kickstart to week high-energy 15-minute episode on the Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Daniel Greg Johnson. Let's get right into it. Hello everybody, hello tribe, welcome back on the Success Blueprint. It is 15-Minute Monday time. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I got exciting news for you. This is episode 104 of the 15-Minute Monday, which means that concludes 2 years of the Success Blueprint. Very, very happy about that. Thank you for being a loyal listenership and following me, giving me suggestions, helping me with new topics, and tuning in every week to support this journey. And I'm very happy that you're part of the tribe, and I hope that you continue to support me. Rate, share, send this podcast to one person only, copy the link, and then just WhatsApp it or email it to someone, because every person that comes onto the tribe is also one person that we may be helping in a situation of difficulty or a lack of clarity. So one person at a time, that's how we increase our sphere of influence. But let's not wait too long before we start. You know, this is about your quick injection for the week. This is covering topics on the basis. If you want to know more, reach out to me. If you want to know more about my business and executive coaching programs, my team coaching programs, any of those other things, self-improvement, reach out over social media, over DM. In the podcast description, you will find a fan button. You can drop me a message there. Reach out however you want. I will be able to assist you either for yourself or for your business. So let's get right into it. Unlocking emotional intelligence, the power to lead with empathy and control. And I always want to re-highlight this, talk about it from different angles, because in leadership, in business, it is so important and overlooked many, many times. What if the most powerful tool for leadership isn't a strategic plan or a set of goals, but the ability to master your own emotions? That is the key to many, many problems, the key to solve many problems, mastering your own emotions, snapping yourself out of autopilot, and grounding yourself in a place of control, clarity, focus, and acting from a place of emotional agility, keeping that agility high, and always be able to tap into your maximum cognitive abilities as much as you can. That's the secret to good leadership. That's the secret to good work environments, to good teams, and to many other things in business. So it starts with you. Imagine handling any situation with grace, connecting deeply with those around you, and leading your team through challenges with trust and confidence. So today in this episode, I want to dive with you into emotional intelligence again, the leadership superpower for navigating complex dynamics and inspiring others. It is a superpower, and I always stress my clients to work on their awareness, level up, be emotionally intelligent. That is how we become great leaders. The problem with traditional leadership approaches, like I see them very often in South Africa, for instance, in today's world, knowledge and technical skills are no longer enough. It's not enough to rule with an iron fist and to be dismissive and work with toxic masculinity and dominance. That is not good enough for the world. If you want to be out there, if you want to be connected and you want to make a change, then a different method is necessary. High-stake roles and fast-paced environments mean leaders encounter more complex emotional and interpersonal challenges daily. With remote working and hybrid working, cultural diversity, there's so many things that come to play. However, many leaders still rely on tactics that worked in less demanding times, in times that were more old school, focusing solely on technical skills, procedures, and data-driven decisions. Yet, when leaders fail to address the human side of work, emotions, motivations, and interpersonal dynamics, these efforts fall short. For many leaders, managing emotional and social complexities is a formidable task. They face struggles such as workplace conflict, difficulty retaining talent, and ineffective communication, all of which are compounded by stress and pressure. Leaders who lack emotional intelligence often feel disconnected from their teams, experience frequent misunderstandings, or find that their decision-making is clouded by emotional turbulence. The result? They lose trust, momentum, and even key talent who crave meaningful connections and supportive environments, and even more so with Generation Z. The unseen costs of ignoring emotional intelligence, it's high, it's dramatic. Consider the impacts of neglecting emotional intelligence. Increased turnover, which is always a problem, bottom line, reduced engagement, and diminished productivity. In emotional disconnected teams, conflicts escalate, collaboration weakens, and employees feel unseen and undervalued. And you have to say it over and over again. Purpose and meaningful work environments, that is rising and becoming more and more important. Imagine a talented employee leaving because they felt their concerns weren't heard, or a team struggling to innovate because they feared criticism or dismissal of their ideas. These scenarios are all too common and they are costly. They cost a lot of money. Without emotional intelligence, leaders may unwittingly contribute to a toxic culture, and often one where stress dominates and moral dips. The workplace becomes transactional. Transactional leadership is outdated. It needs to be transformational. And what is the result? Leaders are left managing fires instead of inspiring growth. The stress that arises from unresolved conflicts and unchecked emotions is often passed from leaders to their teams, creating a ripple effect that impacts productivity, creativity, and team dynamics. Your impact on the interactional force field matters, period. Leaders who fail to develop emotional intelligence are at risk of undermining their own efforts and limiting their own organizational potential. So let's talk about the blueprint to emotional intelligence in leadership. Emotional intelligence is not about suppressing emotions or being soft. It's about channeling emotions productively, understanding motivations, and building trust. EI empowers leaders to respond rather than react, to connect genuinely with their teams, and to foster an environment where everyone feels supported and valued. Developing emotional intelligence equips leaders to make balanced decisions, resolve conflicts with empathy, and lead with resilience. Here, I want to share a guide to building and applying emotional intelligence in leadership, featuring 5 practical strategies that I want to share with you for creating immediate positive change. Number 1, recognize and label your emotions. Emotional awareness is foundational to emotional intelligence. Leaders who are tuned to their emotions can navigate challenges with clarity. The first step in emotional awareness is simple: recognizing and labeling your emotions as they arise. When you identify what you're feeling, stress, frustration, excitement, or even fear, you gain control over how you respond to those emotions. One example in action: instead of reacting impulsively to a critical comment in a meeting, take a moment to acknowledge, I'm feeling frustrated. By recognizing this feeling, you're in a better position to choose a measured response instead of reacting defensively. And this approach not only helps you to stay composed, but models emotional regulation for your team as well. And what do you gain from it? By practicing this technique consistently, it allows you to separate emotions from action, leading to clear-headed responses that strengthen your leadership presence. Number 2, identify and manage emotional triggers. We all have triggers, including me, certain scenarios or interactions that evoke strong emotional responses. In leadership, understanding your emotional triggers can prevent knee-jerk reactions that may harm relationships or decision-making. Reflecting on past experiences where you felt especially challenged can help you identify these triggers and allowing you to prepare more constructive responses. That's why I say strategic and reflective journaling is a superpower. If you notice that unexpected changes in projects trigger frustration, plan a response strategy, like taking a few minutes to breathe before addressing the issue. And this pause allows you to approach the situation rationally and communicate clearly with your team. And over time, you'll gain the ability to manage emotional reactions with composure, creating a stable and supportive environment where your team can thrive. Number 3, practice active empathy. Empathy is a cornerstone of emotional intelligence, and it allows leaders to understand and validate others' perspectives. This goes beyond simply listening. It involves acknowledging the emotions and challenges that others experience. Practicing empathy strengthens relationships and boosts morale. fostering an atmosphere where people feel valued and understood. And how important is that? During a one-on-one meeting, instead of rushing through feedback, take time to ask open-ended questions. Apply a coaching mindset about your team members' experience or what frustrates them, why they feel unheard, and so on. Reflect back what they share. It sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed with this project. Let's explore ways to make this more manageable. Demonstrating empathy in your interaction deepens trust and promotes open communication, empowering team members to share insights and ideas without fear. What a beautiful environment to work in. Number 4, master emotional regulation techniques. Emotional intelligence doesn't mean hiding or denying emotions, denouncing that they are there. It's about controlling and channeling them constructively. And techniques such as mindfulness, deep breathing, and reframing are effective ways to stay grounded during stressful situations. And again, one of the most powerful techniques for that is strategic and reflective journaling. Many of the executives that I coach in the beginning, meh, and then after a month, they say it changed their life. So please look into it or reach out if you want to know more about it. By regulating your emotional responses, you can handle conflicts, setbacks, and feedback with confidence and resilience. If a meeting grows tense, use a grounding technique such as deep breathing or take a few breaths to center yourself before responding. Alternatively, practice reframing, turning a frustrating situation into a learning opportunity to maintain a positive perspective. When you regulate your emotions effectively, you set a tone of calm and composure, enhancing your ability to lead with confidence, even in high-stakes situations. Number 5, lead with emotional transparency. Emotionally intelligent leaders understand that transparency fosters trust. Sharing your emotions thoughtfully without oversharing or venting humanizes you, and that is important, making it easier for your team to relate and feel connected. Expressing vulnerability can be powerful, and it shows you're invested in the collective success of the team. If your team is tackling a challenging project, acknowledge it. I know this deadline is tight and I feel the pressure too, but I believe in our ability to get this done together. This transparency reinforces unity and trust, helping your team feel supported. When leaders express emotions in a balanced way, it strengthens team bonds, encourages open communication, and inspires commitment to share goals. Let me share a story with you how emotional intelligence transformed one of my clients' approaches. And her name is Rachel, a project manager in a competitive firm. When she reached out to me, there was a couple of challenges and we started working with each other. She was known for her technical skills and often struggled with team morale. High expectations combined with a blunt communication style left her team feeling disconnected and demotivated. After losing a top performer who cited poor management as the reason for leaving, Rachel realized she needed a change, and that was when she reached out to me. She decided to invest into one of my emotional intelligence programs, and she began by identifying her own stress triggers, noticing how tight deadlines often made her curt and unapproachable. She worked on active empathy with me, holding one-on-one meetings where she genuinely listened to her team's concerns. And as she practiced emotional regulation, Rachel learned to pause before responding during high-stress moments. And within 6 months, her team's engagement improved dramatically. Feedback sessions became collaborative and team members reported feeling valued and motivated. And Rachel's transformation highlighted the profound impact of emotional intelligence on leadership success. In the beginning, she was skeptical, but I told her, I guarantee you this will definitely pay off in your team for the long term. So why is emotional intelligence essential for modern leadership? Emotional intelligence transforms leadership from directive to connective. Leaders who harness EI drive meaningful change, cultivate trust, and foster environments where people feel safe to innovate and grow. The benefits of this extend beyond individual interactions. Emotional intelligence strengthens entire organizational cultures. With emotionally intelligent leaders at the helm, companies experience improved morale, increased engagement, and better performance. And here, let me share a couple of points with you what leaders gain through EI. Stronger team cohesion, because team members work collaboratively, guided by a leader who listens, values, and understands them. Increased resilience. Emotionally intelligent leaders handle stress with grace, setting an example that inspires resilience. Enhanced conflict resolution. Leaders can navigate conflicts with empathy and tact, turning challenges into growth opportunities. Better decision making. By controlling impulses and focusing on rational responses, leaders make balanced, thoughtful decisions. And finally, higher retention rates. Teams led by emotionally intelligent leaders are more satisfied, leading to reduced turnover and improved loyalty. In a competitive world, emotional intelligence isn't optional. It's essential for building resilient teams and leading with compassion and creating organizations where everyone thrives. So let me give you a call to action. If you are ready to transform your leadership, begin by implementing one of the EI strategies shared today. Notice how it changes your interactions, your perspective, and the way your team responds. And if this episode resonates with you, share it with another leader who's ready to unlock the power of emotional intelligence. And if you want to know more about my emotional intelligence leadership programs that have helped many, then reach out to me, social media, contact details are in the episode description, and I will help you to increase your EI for a better future. And that was it, short and quick on the Success Blueprint. Don't be one of them that just takes this as motivation and then moves on back into autopilot. You need to take action. Write it down, reflect on it, go over it, see where are the patterns, where are you applying this in your leadership, where do you need to improve, what are you not seeing, then you really make a change. In order to take something and make something of motivation, intention is not enough. You need to make sure that you string a whole pot of actions after each other, one step at a time, so that you can really turn motivation into the steps and actions that then bring results and outcomes, and then muster up the discipline to follow through and not procrastinate. That's it. That was it from Daniel, your host on the Success Blueprint. With my promise, I'll be back. Take care, tribe.